What's going on, guys? TJ, the big sports guy here. I was having a very interesting conversation a couple weeks ago at the Charlotte Collecticon show with someone about sports cards and where the prices are at now versus where they were at back in like 2018, 2019, pre-COVID, before the hobby exploded. And I just thought it was really interesting. I was doing some poking around on the internet and thought you guys might like this also. So we're going to take a look at some cards and what they sold for back in 2017, 2018, prior to the hobby blowing up, and what they still sell for today. So if you're someone that's really into wondering where we're at versus where we were and how the hobby was doing and where the prices are at now, and wondering if prices are going to level off or if they're going to continue to decline for a few more years, I think I might have an answer for you. Now, before we jump into these examples, if you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And also, I did start a sports card website that's direct to consumer, so I can sell cards directly to you guys. You won't have to pay some crazy $19 buyer premium every time that something ends, like some other sites do. That's called yoursportscards.com. So please head over there and check that out. We've got everything from dollar cards all the way up to a couple hundred, even $1,000 plus cards on there. Still trying to continue to build up the inventory, but I'm trying to add to that every single week. So if you guys could, please pop over there and at least check out the website, even if you don't buy anything. Just see what you think. There is a little section on there. If you're looking to sell any sports cards, you can contact me and I will reach out and I'll try to buy your collections as well. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in and look at some examples from cards that have sold back in 2017 and 2018 and compare those to today. Okay, for obvious reasons, to be able to do this, to look at prices that sold back in 2017 and 2018 and compare those to today, we can't be using any newer players. We can't be using any new rookie cards, any new prospects, anything like that. We have to use well-established players so that we can get an idea of what the market's doing as a whole. There's obviously greater fluctuations in price when you're looking at new rookies and prospects because of their hype. If you look at cards like Victor Wembanyama, obviously his prices are astronomical, but he hasn't done anything in the league yet. We have to wait and see how his career plays out to really get an understanding of the broader market. But we are going to look at some established players. So this first one we're going to start with is a Kobe Bryant. We're just going to take a look. I found some random cards through 130point.com. These cards sold at a couple different times and through a couple different sites. They sold through like PWCC, Golden, eBay, etc. But the first one I want to look at is the 2015 Select Light Blue Prism Die Cut, numbered to 199 in a PSA 10. So if we go back, there were two sales that were listed on here, one in 2016 and one in 2018 that did $27 and $28.99. So $27 and $29 back in 2016 and 2018. So not bad. It's it's not really a significant card in any way. It is numbered to 199. It is of Kobe. It is a PSA 10. So it sold for $27 to $29. Fast forward to 2023 and 2024. That exact same card in a PSA 9. A PSA 9, not even a PSA 10, a PSA 9 sold for $150 in May of 2023 and $170 in July of 2024. So this takes me back to the intro when I was having this conversation a couple weeks ago, and the guy that was set up, he had a table at that Charlotte Collecticon show, was telling me that he thought that some prices now were actually lower than they were back in 2017, 18, 19 pre-COVID explosion. And I kind of agree in some regards. There are definitely some cards that are very, very cheap that you can buy now, especially if you're looking at like lower end stuff. But even stuff like this is really not a crazy short printed, hard to find card. It's out of $199. It's going to come for sale probably once a month or once every couple of months at least. There's PSA 9s and PSA 10s, obviously. The 10s aren't going to surface as much because people are going to be holding those. But if a PSA 9 is doing $150 to $170 and they were selling for $26 to $29 a few years ago, the market is not anywhere near the bottom. We have a long ways to go for prices to actually level off and then potentially start increasing. Okay, another one that I find super, super interesting here. This is the 1998 Upper Deck Choice StarQuest Blue Michael Jordan in a PSA 10. So again, it's not a card that's even numbered. It is kind of a shorter print. There's a couple different colors of these StarQuest cards. There's like a red, a green, a blue, and then they have a gold numbered to 100. There's several different levels. This is kind of the entry level. So going back to 2018, we've got multiple sales in April and in July of 2018. PSA 10 of this card did $19.50, $24.39, and $28. So a range of about $20 to $30, let's say. Fast forward though to today, in July of 2021, $350 for a PSA 10. Back in July of 2024, also we had another sale at $424. And if you go back a little bit further to May, there was one that sold for $250. So these go from $250 to $420, which is a spread of $170. That's the spread on these cards. But when you go back and look at what the sales were, they were only selling for $20 to $30 back in 2018. And now there's a spread of $170 between a low and a high comp from 2024, which is absolutely crazy to me. Obviously, it's Michael Jordan. His stuff exploded more than some others, with him being the greatest basketball player of all time. But it is such a stark contrast between pre-pandemic prices and post-pandemic prices, and I personally don't think we're anywhere near the bottom. Does that mean that you should stop collecting? No. Does that mean that you can't make some money here and there from the hobby or just collect cards that you like? No, it doesn't mean those things, but you need to be very selective in what you're buying. And do we think that this card from this point on is going to continue to increase in value or decrease in value? I mean, it's already increased 10x. And that is not even the record high sales that took place back in 2021, 2022, I guess 2020. So it's up to you guys to kind of make a decision here, but I thought this was really interesting in looking at these. So I want to look at a couple more examples. All right, we'll move on to another sport here. We just covered a couple of basketball cards. Let's look at the Tom Brady 2000 Skybox Impact rookie card in a PSA 10. Again, this is one that, you see this card all the time. If you go to card shows and you see like Brady rookies, it's usually the Skybox Dominion, the Skybox Impact. There's some other kind of like low-end rookies that float around. These ones back during the pandemic, I mean, if you could buy these raw for like $100 to $150, you were doing really good. Sometimes you could sell them for up to like $200. But obviously in a PSA 10, it's going to be a lower population. People are going to want the best graded version that they can get, so that's what they're going to be going for. So this 2000 Skybox Impact Tom Brady rookie back in 2017, I found 3 sales on this. They were $180, $187, and $197. So $180 to $200, kind of the price range on that. Now you fast forward to this year. We have a sale that just took place August 5th of 2024. And then we also have July of 24 and another July of 24. $930, $961, and $999. So once again, a card that was selling for $180 to $200 is now almost $1,000. So we are definitely still declining off those high prices that we saw. And I'm not sure how much longer this is going to take place, but if you feel like this is a good price and you feel like things have leveled off, yes, you could get into the market, hold on to this and see what happens. But for me personally, for something like this, I'd probably hold off a little bit longer and see where prices eventually level off. Because there's going to be a point where all these cards level off. This is never going to be a card that gets back to $100 or $150 if I had to guess, but you never know. All right, let's move on and do another one. Let's look at another sport too. Let's go to baseball. We're going to look at the 1993 Topps Derek Jeter flagship rookie card. So if we go back to 2016, I found 3 sales on this. So we've got in a PSA 10, $117.50, and also $94. This was back in November of 2016. And then we also have the 1993 Topps Gold Derek Jeter in a PSA 10 sold for $338. You fast forward to today, the flagship base rookie PSA 10, $296, $291, and $299 in July of 2024. So you could have gotten the gold PSA 10 for $338, and in today's market, you can get the base rookie in a PSA 10 for $300. So it just shows what a huge difference there was from 2016, 2017 to 2024. It's been 8 years now since 2016. We've seen all those crazy, crazy highs, and I'm just curious what you guys think about where we're finally going to level off, because I think we have quite a ways to go, and that we're going to see these prices continue to decrease for at least a couple more years, right? We have to have several sales of these cards changing hands for the prices to gradually decline, because everybody lists on eBay and they undercut each other by like 10%, so eventually we'll get down to like maybe it'll be back to $100, maybe it'll level off at 150, maybe it'll be 200, but obviously, if you had gotten into the hobby or were in the hobby back in 2015, 16, 17, and you were buying really nice quality stuff, you could have made a ton of money if you decided to cash out during COVID. If you continued to hold all the way through that, you're still doing okay because your cards are still up, 10x from where they were in some cases. In cases like this, you're up about 3 or 4x. Still not a bad return on investment over, 7, 8 years, but man, it's going to be crazy to see how things play out in the future for sure. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so for more content like this. I'm going to be trying to bring out some more content over the next couple of months. And once again, if you haven't checked out yoursportscards.com, please do so. Nice place where you can go on and check out some sports cards for you to buy for your collection. And I will catch you next time.